everyone, it's Mary, and this is the end of week 1 for the 30-day challenge. So I left you guys alone this week other than the post that I did on the Braving Midlife Facebook page. But how did you do? Like, I really noticed some things about myself, which again is a great notice, which is what this 30-day challenge is all about, is where is it? Where's the mess up? Where am I accountable to myself? Where am I not accountable to myself? So in my 30-day challenge, I talked about wanting to exercise every day. I want to stop fidgeting, or at least notice when I'm fidgeting. And I want to learn one new Polish word a day, and to study for my Polish driver's license online. So how did I do? Not as great, actually, as I thought that I was going to. In my very merry way, which is something that I noticed about myself, in my very merry way, I took on too much. And we are getting ready to go on a 2-month, a 3-month, maybe a 6-month journey. We're not really sure. And so I didn't put the things in place for me to be able to pull everything off that I wanted to do. Again, it's a notice. No trash talking. It's just a notice. So where in your first week, your first 7 days, where have you noticed something about yourself? The good, the bad, the ugly, because we all have it. So the questions that I have for you are, number 1, how did I do? How did I do? And be honest with yourself, because this is only for you. And although if you want to share it, then, I would love to hear your stories, your wins, your successes, your losses. How did you do? I didn't do as good as I thought I was going to do. Again, I mentioned I took too much on. And then, so how would you answer that, honestly? Then the second question is, what went right? What went right? I will tell you what I noticed. Again, this is just a notice. What I noticed is because I had downloaded and printed out some pictures of women that are similar or close to my age that were exercising, and I had them on my desk. When I saw them, it made me want to exercise. That alone helped me to stay on track. I never missed a beat. Matter of fact, some days I did a lot more than I thought I would, because my goal was to do 30 minutes of rigorous exercise. And some days I did that plus walk 3 to 5 miles. That went right because I had a vision. I had something to go after. What went right for you? Question number 3. What went wrong? Where did you mess up? Where did you let yourself down? What got in the way? So for me, I ended up at the dentist and having a root canal, and that threw me for a loop for several days. What could I have done? What I notice, and I've noticed about this, like several other times, what I noticed about myself is that I want to do something, but then I don't plan it out all the way. I don't have a plan B. What could my plan B have done? For instance, my Polish driver's license, to start testing online. I just didn't do it. I didn't do it at all. And again, it's a notice. I'm not trash talking myself about it. It's just a notice that I took on too much. I did not time block my schedule. I let it slip. What went right? Number 2. Number 3, what went wrong? Number 4, what could I have done differently? What story do I need to stop telling myself? Who could I have reached out to? What could I have done differently if, for instance, you ended up having a root canal and you were laid up for a couple of days or something got in the way? How could you have rearranged things or thought about your 30-day challenge in a different way that maybe you could have done something differently? And if so, what would that have been? Just to notice. It's just a notice. Then, what do I need to change? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to adjust? And if I need help, who can help me? Who do I need on my side? For me, what do I need to change? I'm going to let go of my Polish driver's license until I actually get situated for my first month in Portugal. How can I adjust things? When I say that I want to stop fidgeting, it was more about being able to catch myself faster when I start to fidget and question as to why. Am I having a difficult situation? Am I someplace that I don't want to be? Am I with somebody that I don't want to be with? Am I doing something that I don't want to do? What spurs on? Am I bored? What spurs on this fidgeting? And 1 Polish word a day. I'm going to start keeping track of the Polish words that I have learned, and I'm going to write a short sentence for each one of them so that I remember how to use it. That was one thing that I did not do. I learned a word which is easy, well, not easy to pronounce correctly, but in order for me to understand the context in which that word is used, I'm going to begin writing down on a sheet of paper what a short sentence is so that I remember how to use that word. That's what I'm going to change about my 30-day challenge. That's how I'm going to adjust it. What do you need to change, adjust, and who can help you? Don't forget you can always reach out to me either by email or WhatsApp or Messenger if you need somebody to get you back on track. If you feel as though you want to go deeper and get some accountability partner or mentorship or coaching, then I'm always here for that for you also, just so that you can get to this place that you want to get to in this 30-day challenge and to be able to follow it through for this year that we're doing of who is she? All along this 30-day challenge, you can keep that in the back of your head of who is she? Who am I? Who am I unfolding into when I exercise every day? How is that helping my body, my mind, my spirit? What about my stop fidgeting? What does that do for me in regards to who is she? What does it do for me? How does it silence my mind and bring me back to center when I stop fidgeting? How can I recognize when I'm going into situations where I don't want to be or I'm uncomfortable? And what can I do about that? And for my Polish word of the day, how can I up-level that? How can I up-level that so then that word or that short sentence then becomes part of my new vocabulary? So what are those things that you can do to help you and spur you on for success in this 30-day challenge and in the Who Is She year-long program to answer the question at the end of the year of who is she? So let's take a look at what the brain has to do with all of this in regards to a 30-day challenge or anything in life that we want, a new job, a new relationship, a new place to live, like anything that we want in life. The two main parts of the brain are the conscious and the subconscious. And the conscious brain is, our awake, you might think of your awake state. It accounts for like only 4 to 5% of our daily actions. The rest of our life is generally on autopilot. We go through life on autopilot. We wake up in the morning. We in my case now, I do my exercises and then I get on with my life. But a lot of that, we go to work the same way. I take the same bus all the time. I take the same tram downtown. I buy the same foods at the grocery store. I even say the same words. What does that mean for your life and how you can change something or instill a new habit or a new way of being, like in a 30-day challenge? Think about this quote from Neville, which I think is pretty powerful. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. So when I take a look at my 30-day challenge and how it's going in the first week, is my attention was best on my exercise because I had images, I had imagery, which spurred feelings. And the subconscious deals with feelings, and being that it's 95 or 96% of what we do on a daily basis on autopilot, we're driven by feelings. And that's why I said earlier, think about how you want to feel or be, or who are you at the end of this 30-day journey. So what is it that where you can draw your attention so that in the coming weeks, you will be even more successful on your 30-day journey, getting to the end of it where it is the felt experience of what's at the end of the 30-day challenge for you. So this is something that I want to address in this week, which is what happens to our self-image when we let ourselves down, when we look at the piece of paper and on our 30-day challenge sheet and there's nothing checked off. What happens to our self-esteem? What are the words, the regret, the doubt, the fear that comes up when we're not doing what we said that we were going to do or what we thought that we wanted to do? What happens when doubt creeps in, and what is in our control to keep the doubt at bay? And again, this is all just a notice and a building block to help to lay the foundation for what's to come in our lives. In this 30-day challenge, ask yourself, what do you want to create? What do you want to create by taking this 30-day challenge? Maybe why did you do it? And what do you want the outcome to be? What's the action step that you can take that will secure your success in this 30-day challenge? What's the action that you can do? Put it on your calendar. Put pictures up on your wall. Write in a journal. What are the things that you could do to help ensure your success going forward on this 30-day challenge? A 30-day challenge is also about self-love. It's putting the focus back on us instead of being always externally thinking, looking outside ourselves, not only for the answers, but for what's going on, instead of taking the focus back on ourselves and what's going on inside, what's going on in our head, in our heart, in our gut. How are we feeling, and where is that guiding us? Self-love is about learning to trust yourself. It's about learning to be forward focused on the things that are important to you. And it might mean that they aren't important to somebody else. And oftentimes they are not. It's what is important to you, and trust yourself that you have the answers to work toward that feeling that trust or that goal represents for yourself. What does trusting yourself mean to you? What does it look like? What do you look like when you trust the decisions, the actions, the focus, the energy that you are making on a daily basis toward becoming the best version of yourself? The 30-day challenge is also about authenticity. Is how do I show up in every instance in my life, whether it's a relationship, in a conversation, in something that I'm doing and creating a 30-day challenge, or going after something that I say that I want. It's how committed am I to that process, and where am I being authentic? Like, where am I being authentically Mary? Where do you get to be authentically you and show up with that whole unique human being that you are? You know, authenticity is about shedding or letting go of a lot of the negative words that we might say about ourselves, or the blame game, or the shame, or the guilt, or the fear that we've been harnessing against ourselves or others over the past years, often decades. And how do we then take a look at all of that and step into being authentic and what it is that we say that we want? Brené Brown talks about authenticity in this way. It's choosing to cultivate the courage to be imperfect. And especially for women, that's a tough one for us. We think that we have to do these things perfectly all the time and it starts at a very young age. But when I was working as a birth doula, I used to see it in the labor room all the time. I used to see it in first-time moms thinking that they had to know how to breastfeed. They had to know how to have a baby. They needed to know how to go through labor. We don't. Authenticity is the courage to be imperfect. So where can you be imperfect in your life and still show up as you? How can you be imperfect and still come from a place of authenticity, of that you don't have to have all the answers. You don't know exactly every day what's going to happen. All you have is a path to follow and a heart-centered goal that you are working toward achieving. Brené Brown also talks about authenticity in this way: exercising the compassion that comes from knowing that we are all made of strength and struggle. We have both sides to us, just like two sides to the coin. There are checks and balances in life. There are two sides to everything. There is strength and struggle everywhere. Once you are exercising compassion for both sides of you, then that authenticity will ring through. Then next is nurturing the connection and sense of belonging that can only happen when we believe that we are enough. Doing a 30-day challenge will help us see where we believe we are enough, where we are being authentic to ourselves, where we are putting our focus, our energy, our trust in ourselves to become the next best version. So I hope that this week's challenge, end of first week, woo, is helping you to see the areas in your life that you can improve upon, the areas that you need to let go of, the areas where you need to forgive yourself, show up more authentically, respect yourself for the beautiful, unique human being that you are.